What's happening, guys? Welcome back. This is Cash Talks, the place where you guys get to become the best version of yourself. So in this video, you guys are going to learn all about the secure type. So if you want to become the secure type, if you want to find the secure type, which you'll find out is actually really useful in becoming the secure type, even if you just want to learn whether you are the secure type, this video is for you. So this is the holy grail of attachment styles. Everyone wants to be this type because this is the type where you can truly start to find true deep connection and love with your partner. So this is a really important video, and I really hope you stick around because there's gonna be so much value in this. So let's get straight to it. Anyone with this attachment style is genuinely happy and content and fulfilled with their relationship and even in life. You know, I spoke about this in previous videos that your attachment style affects so many other factors: your income, your overall satisfaction in other areas of your life, not just your relationship. It even affects things like your motivation. People with this attachment style find higher income and higher satisfaction in all other areas of their life. So this is a really important attachment style. So a quick summary is these people have a positive view of themselves and a positive view of others. So they see themselves as amazing, and they also see other people as amazing. They have high self-esteem but can also see the best in others. These people are comfortable with intimacy, unlike the other attachment styles, and these people are comfortable with trust. They trust themselves and they trust others. They're your ideal partner. You know, we watch these movies in, Hollywood and Bollywood, and we're always trying to figure out like who's going to be my perfect partner and what is my perfect partner. And honestly speaking, attachment style really distinguishes whether someone's perfect for you or someone's not perfect for you, because it can truly destroy or completely make up a relationship.
So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. And we're going to have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you.
So if I were you, honestly speaking, I'm about to go through exactly what the secure type is like. I would save this video right now to check in with yourself whether you're becoming the secure type and whether you're finding the secure type. You know, I myself do this every now and then. I'll check in if I'm meeting someone new. Is that person of the secure type? Am I of the secure type? You know, I could drop because of a certain situation going on in my life. I sometimes check in with that. So save this video because it's going to be really helpful. So let's get a little bit deeper and actually understand what the secure type is like. These types of people, they don't worry about being alone. They don't worry about being alone at all. They don't worry about others not accepting them either. So they don't fear rejection either. They're happy and comfortable with themselves, by themselves, and just living life. They don't worry about being abandoned, and equally they don't worry about someone getting too close. So you know how the anxious type is always in fear of being abandoned.
I want to need you more than you need me.
And the avoidant type is always in fear of someone getting too close.
I was scared.
Secure type's none of those. The secure type is completely comfortable with themselves, doesn't fear anyone leaving, and equally doesn't fear anyone getting too close. In a relationship, this type of person can be completely comfortable with their partner living their own life and not feel threatened or fear of abandonment from that relationship. They can equally at the same time get super close to that person and super intimate and feel completely comfortable and okay with that. In summary, they can be independent dependent. So they can live their own life, their partner can live their own life, but at the same time they can depend on their partner, and equally their partner can depend on them. They can be emotionally close with others. So what does this mean? This means that they can communicate in a phenomenal way their emotions. I say this all the time. Communication isn't just about saying, I need this in a relationship. No, it's not about that. It's about explaining to that person why you need this, how you need this. Not just saying, I need this. You know, I've been in previous relationships before where, communication has been a huge issue because someone has said, I need this, but hasn't explained how or why because they have fear of abandonment or fear of some other issue. The secure type, however, can openly communicate their emotions. They don't fear, and that's a key thing. They don't fear being too close or fear abandonment, so they can communicate their emotions openly, saying, look, this is the situation, this is how I feel, this is why I feel it, and this is how I think that we can solve this moving forward.
You're being a really bad friend. You bad friend.
A beautiful thing about the secure type is they manage emotions really well. And you know how I mentioned at the beginning of this video that the secure type, being of that type, affects all areas of your life. This is exactly how. If they can manage their emotions well in a relationship, they can manage emotions well outside of the relationship. So whether it's in work, in business, in other areas of your life, whatever it is, they're very good at managing their emotions. Another key thing to spot about the secure type in yourself and in others is this person has forgiven their past, healed from their past, taken insights from their past. They've essentially resolved their past issues and traumas. You know, what you'll find a lot of the times is parenting may have been great for a person growing up and they were probably secure, but due to relationships and traumas and other things going on in their life, they've dropped into the anxious or avoidant or anxious avoidant type. And if they haven't solved that, they'll enter into the next relationship as that type. But the secure person, you know, even if they haven't grown up as a secure type, but they've become the secure type, they've solved all of these previous issues that have gone on, which has led for them to become the secure type. And that's a key thing you need to look out for. Another thing, these people are trusting, as I mentioned. They are empathetic. They really do get their partner's emotions. And at the same time, they are forgiving and accepting of differences.
I forgive you.
There is this key issue that comes about in relationships where we feel that the person has to be like us or they have to like the same things as us. But a secure type accepts those differences. They value that person for those differences almost. Now, getting deeper than that, in previous videos, I've discussed what goes on in the subconscious mind of these types. With the secure type, there is no subconscious issue, and that's the key thing. There is no subconscious fear, there is no underlying issues going on, which is why they can see a positive view of themselves and a positive view of others. This is a beautiful thing, and this is why it's really, really key, especially after breakups and stuff, to heal. Because you can heal those underlying fears and subconscious traumas that have gone on to allow for you to be the secure type. So specifically in a relationship, you know, I've summarized what they're like as individuals and kind of what they're like in relationships, but actually in a relationship, day to day, what are they like? Now, growing up, these types of people had a very, very secure parenting style around them. You know, they were cared for, they were nurtured, any need that they had was met in a positive way, which meant that their subconscious mind developed this understanding that, okay, if something goes wrong, I have a safe space, my parent. And if something's going right, I can go out and do what I need to do because I know that I have that safe space. This is what's going on in their subconscious mind. So that carries forward into their adult life. When they're in a relationship, they feel, okay, this person is my safe space. I can go out and do whatever I want in the world. I can go complete all my goals. I can chase whatever I need to chase, do what I need to do, and I can come back and this is my safe space. You know, if you've seen my other videos, the avoidant type would never do that. They would go out and chase their goals and, you know, achieve their ambitions, but they would not feel connected in their relationship. The anxious type, on the other hand, will feel super connected and super emotionally invested in their relationship, but will never feel safe going out and, you know, doing what they need to do in the world. This is why being the secure type is just so powerful, because you can go and do both. Another thing these people do in relationships is they offer support. Whenever their partner's in distress, they are there for them. Why? Because in their subconscious mind, they're aware that in my relationships that I've had, people have been there for me. This is what should be done. It's almost like a sense of duty deep down. Now, I'm not saying they consciously think, you know, this is my duty, therefore I'm going to be there for you. No. It's just natural to them because it's in their subconscious mind from growing up that this is what's right. This is what feels right. And so they are there for you whenever you need them in moments of distress. Now, I'm not saying, you know, your partner should be there if you're going through like extreme mental health issues. No. Of course, you see a therapist for that. Your partner's not there to cure your emotional mental health issues. What your partner's there for is moments, you know, moments of distress, moments of confusion, you know, they're there to provide support. And that is the secure type. They will be there.
Don't worry. I'll protect you.
You know, the avoidant type, probably not there. Anxious type may be there, no doubt. Anxious type will probably be there. But the anxious type, I can't say that they'll give the best advice. I can't say that they'll be able to provide support in the right way, because equally they're dealing with their own emotional issues at the same time. Equally, they feel comfortable also going to their partner in times of distress. You know, they feel like, you know, if I've got something wrong, I can go to my partner. Avoidance won't do that. They won't, because obviously they don't want to create too much of an emotional connection. So they'll be like, no, I don't want to go near that person and, you know, reveal my emotions. But the secure type is happy doing that. They're completely comfortable doing that. Essentially, in a relationship, just imagine a completely honest, a completely open, a completely loving and forgiving relationship. That's pretty much what they're like. They're just, yeah, holy grail of relationships and types. One thing that's super huge, and I probably should have said this at the beginning, that the secure type will never ever do, is engage in a fantasy bond. And now you're probably going to ask me, what is a fantasy bond? A fantasy bond is essentially kind of, which is unfortunate because this is in most relationships, it's just connection over fulfillment. So it's being with someone just for the sake of being in a relationship. It's being with someone just even for superficial reasons, just for the sake of they're attractive, you're attractive and you guys look good together. Or it's, I want to go out, I want to have someone to go out with, to restaurants with, or I want to have someone to, do all the Christmassy things in the winter with, like stuff like that. Or even in long-term relationships, it's, being together out of habit and just being together out of routine, or just being together because you've been together for so long and you're a couple, and, just kind of having that label or whatever it is. It's just a bond for the sake of a bond rather than fulfillment. And the secure type will not engage in that.
I thought I was in love with you, but it was just a lie.
The secure type looks for fulfillment within this relationship. So, let's just look at it logically. The secure type looks for the positive in others, as well as the positive in themselves, which means that, in a relationship, they're looking for all these beautiful qualities in their partner. They're accepting of their partner. They're accepting of differences. They're tolerating all these other issues. They're forgiving. They're trustworthy. They're kind. They're empathetic. They're all of these other things. So naturally, they can find that fulfillment in relationships. Whereas the avoidant type, for example, they're looking for every issue, every fault, every weakness in their partner, which naturally means they can't find fulfillment in the relationship, which then leads to the fact that they're just together for the sake of being together, which is that fantasy bond. This happens a lot actually in rebound relationships. If you ever get into a rebound relationship, you'll find that you kind of win that relationship for the sake of it. It's very unlikely that you found the one or someone who's very well suited to you from a rebound relationship, which naturally means that it's very difficult to always see the positive in them because you didn't go into that relationship for that reason. You went into the relationship for the fantasy bond, and the secure type wouldn't do that. So this is what I mean about how kind of healing from previous relationships and kind of avoiding all these rebounds and stuff like that, because this is how stuff impacts future relationships. I also want to make something clear, it doesn't mean you can't be a romantic. I'm still a hopeless romantic. I love my Bollywood movies and stuff like that. What I'm saying is there's fulfillment that comes in that. And there's also doing it for the sake of it and looking good and just for the sake of being a couple. So it's kind of more based on the intention and the true deeper reasoning behind everything rather than just the action. So it doesn't mean you can't be a romantic. It doesn't mean you can't live your relationship like a fantasy. You can do all of that, but there has to be some sort of deeper connection behind everything. And that is where the fulfillment in relationships come in. I can actually make a video on this on signs of a fantasy bond. So let me know in the comments below if you want that. Okay, so they don't get super jealous. Because they're secure with themselves, they don't get super jealous at all, They're happy and comfortable with who they are and they're trusting of their partner. So they have no reason to be jealous. Obviously if there's something like big signs in front of them, they can get jealous. But just generally, they're not the jealous type. One big thing, one huge major thing in relationships, and this is why you need a secure type and need to be the secure type. Arguments are never the case in secure relationships. It's discussions. They handle arguments as us versus the problem, rather than me versus you. And that's a big thing. That's a major mindset shift. And the secure type, it comes naturally to them, that mindset shift, because they're so comfortable with their partner. They're so openly emotionally available with their partner, which means that they can openly discuss issues. They can openly speak about whatever they need.
I just get so angry all the time. Always angry.
We're the same, you and I.
It comes naturally to them because of their subconscious mind. They don't have underlying issues which create these arguments. For example, the avoidant type. Ego is a major factor for why they would argue all the time. Because they would always see themselves as right, because they're only looking at the positive in themselves and the negative in others. So in any discussion, it would become an argument because they would just think, well, I'm right all the time. And equally, the anxious type, they can't keep a level head because they're so fearful of the abandonment. So even if they want to speak out their issues or want to speak out their problems, they can't. And so they'll get frustrated and that leads to more arguments. So the point being that when you're a secure type, you don't have these underlying issues. So you can just discuss. I'm not saying they never ever argue. Obviously, people are people, humans are humans. But it's very, very, rare to argue because they just discuss it. Ultimately, these people, if I could summarize them in a relationship, good vibe. They can vibe by themselves. They can vibe with you. They can vibe together. It's just all positive vibes all around, essentially. That's how I'd put it, They're not seeking validation from others. They're not fearing others. They're just doing them. They're just doing them, and they're happy you doing you. And that point is where relationships, are really, really powerful because you come together as whole pieces and you fly from that point. Look at it like this person makes you feel safe and independent. And equally, they feel independent and safe with you. They feel safe essentially with themselves, which means they can provide a safe environment for others. Typical partner. What is their typical partner? There isn't a typical partner for this type. The secure type can actually be with anyone and actually be happy because the secure type can bring any of these other types to their level, which is why I said at the beginning of this video, you know, this is someone you want to look out for. But you also have to be careful if you are the secure type because they can bring you down. They can bring you down because of their anxious ways or avoidant ways. It could lead to other issues which could bring you down and create traumas in relationships which could bring you down. So just be careful about that. Another thing is these other types which are insecure, you have to remember they can pose as being secure initially just to get you in. You know, an anxious type can pretend to be super secure and the avoidant type can pretend also to be super secure. But when the relationship settles, things could change. So you've got to be careful about that. And the ways to look out for that is things like, you know, how do they speak about their previous relationship? Have they healed from it? Have they been alone for some time? Or have they been in like a string of relationships, for example? You know, you need to look out for these signs at the beginning to help you. Like, again, I can make a video on that. So let me know in the comments below. I want to say one thing. It's not also just based on childhood. You know, say for example, you are the anxious type. You have a positive view of others, but not a positive view of yourself. You know automatically the best thing for you right now is to build your self-esteem. Go watch my confidence video. I'll link that down in the description below. You know that's the best thing for you. If you're the avoidant type, you have a positive view of yourself and a negative view of others. Okay, so you need to work on finding the positive in others. You know, whether it's a journaling, whether it's, you know, just helping others, serving others, doing what you need to do, whatever it is. I will obviously make a video for each attachment style and how you can become the secure type within each one. But you can just get the gist. Like, the point being, it's not all childhood. You can change these things as you grow up and as you enter different types of relationships. In conclusion, don't go for the avoidant players. Don't go for the heartbroken rebounds. Don't go for the super, super needy romantics. Go for the person doing things and loving life. You know, they can still be a romantic, no problem, but they're doing things with their life. They're content, they're happy, they're fulfilled. Because if they do that, they're going to bring that into the relationship. If they're currently, you know, in a really fearful state or a really kind of toxic state, they're going to bring that into the relationship. So that's something you have to really be careful about when entering into relationships. What is that person going to bring in? And how is that going to affect you and your relationship? And more important than that, you be that person living life and loving life, you know? You be that person who's secure. You be that person developing high self-esteem. You be that person looking for the best in others. That's where you come in, you know? You do your part. Because like I said, the secure type can bring up all the other types in a relationship. I should also mention the fact that, you know, an anxious type and an anxious type can be happy. An avoidant type and avoidant type can also be happy. And just like a secure and a secure type can be happy. It's just a matter of, will there be other issues with those insecure types? For example, an anxious and an anxious. They may be super invested in each other and see the best in each other, but equally, they may get jealous all the time. They may lead into arguments. They may feel super attached to the point that they can't do anything else with their lives. And equally, an avoidant, you know, they may do everything else with their lives, but the second a big major argument comes along, they can't deal with it. They'll drop at the first second because they're both looking at the weaknesses in each other.
I can't do this.
So it's not that you can't be happy, it's just you need to be a lot more aware in those other relationships because there's going to be a lot more issues that may come down the road. Always try to be in the secure side because it's going to impact your income, your fulfillment, your happiness levels, just everything else. And ultimately, you know, this is just my opinion, but I genuinely feel that only once you're at the secure type can you truly develop that love for your partner, because I believe true love comes from service to one another. And how can you serve someone if you're seeking something from them? What I mean is the anxious type deep down is seeking validation from their partner. The avoidant type deep down is, again, seeking just a different type of validation from their partner. They're seeking some sort of security with their partner, but at the same time want to be emotionally distant. But when you're at the secure type, it's not about what I'm seeking from you. It's about what I can give to you. I can provide that safe space for you. I can provide, you know, that trust for you. I can provide whatever you need in order for you to feel safe and at the same time independent. You know, that's a beautiful way of looking at a relationship. And at that moment, you can serve. You can genuinely serve your partner and give them what they need. And equally, they can do the same for you. And it's at that moment, that is the key moment that true love can develop. And, you know, maybe it's just the fact that I listen to a lot of my spiritual teachers like Radhanath Swami and also listen to the Dalai Lama and stuff like that. But I genuinely believe that. And if you can get to that stage, you can fly with your relationships and in all areas of your life. But this series is not ending. What? I know you guys think that, you know, okay, I've gone through every single type now, the series is over. No. This series is not over, because now it's going to be things like, how can the anxious type become the secure type? How can the avoidant type become the secure type? Actual practical steps on what to do. And then it's going to be things like, okay, what type of relationships? For example, the avoidant and the anxious is a typical relationship. What can you do about that? How to find the secure type, you know, what are signs you should look for? Stuff like that. There's so many other videos I'm planning on making. So the real question is, until I make these videos on, you know, how to become the secure type practically, here are a few videos I recommend. Number one, my confidence video. You know, it's all about building that self-esteem, all about building that confidence. Number two, my stoicism video, Stoicism 101. That's all about managing your emotions. That's gonna be really, really helpful, especially in relationships. Number three, stop overthinking. That's another video, because let's be honest, a lot of us overthink with relationships, in relationships, and outside of relationships. So definitely check out that video. And number three, the mindset for success. Now you're gonna obviously wonder why I'm suggesting that, but honestly, that applies to relationships just as much. So these are the videos I recommend. Go check them out. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video, because I mean, you've watched it to this far. You might as well like and subscribe. Comment down below if you found this helpful, and please, please, please share this with others. You know, there could be a friend who could need this. There could be a family member, a relative, whatever it is. There could be someone else who could really, really find this helpful. So please, please, please share this with them. Catch you guys next week. Cash Talks is out.